Hi guys, this is Michael from Team Ragnarok, and I'm doing a showdown tournament report plus deck profile. You probably already guessed what I run based on the layout here. Yeah, but basically, if you didn't know what showdown is, it's basically the biggest tournament in Denmark, and it's always held right after the beginning of a new format. And this time it was extra special because it was right at the first. We never had it the first before, so there was no set deck, and the format kinda allowed for diverse playing. And this is deck I ran Psychic. Showdown is like a 100 people tournament. And it's the biggest in Denmark. So even if it's only 100, it's compressed of like a lot of really good players. This seems like I'm going to brag, but yeah, I got second place with Psychics, and it was extra awesome special until we found out that Jeff Jones kind of made the same trick. But I guess we just thought in the same way. The reason I ran with the deck was that I played it a lot on Dueling Network, and I found it really funny. Like I could do synchro plays, and like I don't like the exceeds too much. I feel like they destroyed the game. And I enjoy myself way more when I play a psychic oriented deck, and also this deck kinda like it has a ton of floaters, so it can deal with field swipes, which I predicted a lot of in the format I was going into, and I expected a lot of cheese decks like Burn and Exodia and like Final Countdown, because we had a ton of that at Nationals, but I saw none of that. But yeah, this deck kind of counter that with the Naturia Synchros, and then like I just really enjoyed playing the deck. So let's get to the deck profile. I got 3 Rat, 3 Serene, 3 Silent Psychic Wizard, 2 Psychic Jumper, 2 Psychic Commander, 1 Destructotron, 1 Hushed Psychic Cleric, 1 Espergirl, 1 Armored Action Kicker, and 1 Gorse. The reason I run 3 Giant Rat is that I tried to play it without the rat, with some more psychic stuff and different things, and I just felt like if you didn't open Serene, you were fucked, because you have no opening place whatsoever in this deck. The biggest issue with this deck is that if you open with stuff like Wizard, Jumper, Cleric, Esper, Armored Action Kicker, and sometimes even Destructotron and Psychic Commander, they just don't do that much for you compared to other opening plays other decks does. So the only good opening place you really have is the Serene and the Giant Rat. Unless, of course, you got the Teleport and can get some combos off. So that's why I run the 3 Giant Rat. It wasn't an issue. Most of the time people just ran into it like retards, because they didn't know what to expect from this deck. I won most of my matches because my opponent just didn't know how to play against it. They didn't know weaknesses, rulings. Sometimes they didn't even read the effects properly. And I can't pronounce properly. Double Psychic Jumpers. Some Psychic players might say 1 is enough. I run 2 because I tried a Power Wheel build, but I didn't like Power Wheel, so I took it out. But I really liked the 2 Psychic Jumpers, and throughout the tournament, Double Jumper has been amazing. This is like the strongest card in Psychics. I took Pulsar Dragons Synchroed, I took Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons, I took a Sheen. I take all kinds of stuff. Double Psychic Commander. Most of the time I sided 1 out, but sometimes I also needed the second for my teleport plays. It was kind of iffy. I liked it because it's a semi 1900 beat stick, so I can destroy stuff, and it can help other cards like Silent Psychic Wizard get over spies and different things. So I guess he's alright. Destructotron, amazing card. He's so OP. I won a lot of duels because my opponent just didn't read him. So like I would banish him with Serene, and my opponent would read it and be like, okay, I said 3 cards, I hope you don't get the right one, the one I need. And I summon him and like, effect, okay, effect again. And I just see the grief in my opponent's eyes. It's priceless. One cleric didn't do too much for me. I guess I could have done without him, but I used him for a few synchro plays here and there. Not too great. Espergirl, great at 1. I don't need more than 1. It did what it should do. Action Kiko is kind of but I don't really know what to take in instead. Like maybe if I had Maxis or if I had that Grand Soil guy, I think I would have tried those, but I don't have the resources for that shit. Gorse, so OP. You just gotta run him. He won me a ton of games. People are still playing kind of OTKs in this format. It just takes longer before they have the setup. So basically you have nothing on field for longer time because no one wants to commit anything to the field because they know if they commit they're gonna lose it next turn. Which was great for me because I had a ton of floaters. So I could commit and usually ward off the OTKs by just having a shit ton of shit on the field. Free teleport, great. I also kind of played this deck because I know that this one tournament was like the only time that this deck was gonna have a chance. As we get farther into the format, I think windups are gonna show up more, and this deck have a horrific, like a really bad matchup against that shit, and that shit is still OP. 2 MST, 2 Miracle Synchro Fusion. I didn't use it whatsoever throughout the tournament. Like 30% of the time I drew it, it replaced itself, so I guess that's kind of okay. But I didn't use it for synchro, fusion a single time throughout the tournament. I used it on DN a couple of times, but I think I'll replace these. I didn't like them too much. Mind Control, just strong. Darkhold, Book of Moonmonths, Reborn, Heavy Storm stuff. And then I run a defensive lineup here with 2 of each trap: Bottomless, Dimensional Prison, Compulsory, Torrential, and Call of the Haunted. I was originally playing 2 warnings instead of Compulse, but I found out that I was paying too much life points, and I would just die because those 2,000 you use Jumper maybe 2 or 3 times throughout a duel, so there's 3,000 you use Destructotron like up to 3 times sometimes, and that's like you killed yourself with 8,000. So you need more life points to play Psychics, especially because you're gonna tank some damage once in a while. You're gonna have a Serene, and they're only really gonna kill it if they can get some push in. So they're gonna kill it and push, and then you get something during your next standby phase. It's not right away. So yeah, for the extra deck, it's not really in order, so it's gonna take a little while. 1 Natura Beast, 1 Catastor, 1 Android, all important. I don't think I used the Catastor too much, but I kinda liked having access to him. He got me out of a Marshmallow once. Natura Beast, I didn't use it as much as I wanted to, but it was great knowing that I had access to it. Just if my opponent was like playing some burn or some Exodia shit, I could shut it down. I tried to summon it as much as I could whenever I had a big back row, but I would usually just win on sheer advantage instead of control with that guy. Then I got Barkian, the same as Natura Beast, just I summon it once in a while. It didn't really do much because my opponent would just hold off and destroy some shit. Once it did some work, so that's great. The Gaia Knight, just because you need the generic synchro. You need to be able to synchro with Giant Rat or something you mind control or something you jumper, so you need to be able to have a generic level 6. Then we got the Psychic Nightmare. This is German, it says Sei Albtraum. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. But this card is so insane. This card was winning me duels left and right. Its effect is that you, once per turn, you choose a card in your opponent's hand and you call monster, spell or trap. And then it gets 1000 attack points until your opponent's end phase. Basically it will always get boosted. Like, the people will usually set their traps. And the spells they will use kind of fast, kind of quickly. Of course it depends on the matchup, but like against dragons I could just summon it and it would be a safe bet that it got 34 because they only have monsters really, and they don't have an out for that shit. Also against Dark World, get it out, 34. One of my opponents was like minusing themselves using draw cards, discarding spells and traps to get to the Dark Hole to destroy this. And at that time he just wasted so much advantage that I would win automatically. One Psychic Life Transfer, I kinda guess I needed that level 7. It could have been Archfiend, but I think I liked the life point gain. Then we got the Thought Ruler Archfiend. Didn't really use it too much, but it's a Psychic, you gotta run it. Scrap Archfiend did a lot of work. Hyper Psychic Blaster did a little work, I guess. Alive Justice Decisive Armor, didn't summon it once. Livier and Maze Stroke. I really wanted to fit in a Sin Mains. I think I might remove this guy later on, or maybe I might remove like the fusion engine. That might also put in some space. I wouldn't mind having a Black Rose or something, but most of the time I just didn't see the need for that card. One Chimeric Fortress Dragon. I was expecting a lot of Gear Gas, Machina and different kind of variants, but it didn't go up against a single one, so my Cyber Dragon still didn't really get sided too much. Action Kicker, like I said, I didn't fuse into it a single time, so he didn't really do anything. Let me get this stuff removed here without destroying the deck lineup too much, even though I already talked about it. Side deck is just kind of randomish. I got a few good side deck picks, but I really wanted to have a Maxi in there, but I didn't have the cash or the money for that, and I don't want to spend that much money on a card. So we got the Snowman Eater. Didn't really decide it too much. The Crows didn't see work either. Shadow Empress decided against Dark World, but yeah, it helped me. Yeah, it helped me a lot against Dark World because I could sit on this and a Beast. That one time I used the Beast. 2 Light Empress. I stopped the Raikou against what was it, Dragon Player. The third Prison. I sided this in a lot of the time, except against wind-ups. It was like I take them out because they do nothing. Instead I play 2 Goosen, 2 Rivalry. Mostly against wind-up I would take all 4 in, but also just I decided these 2 in against 6 Sam and Rivalry against some other shit, and I sided all 4 in against a Frog matchup. So these 4 are great cards. They are just wrecking formats, and I always love to play them. They were doing so much work when I played Worms, and I just love them in the side deck. Double Cyber Dragon, didn't use it too much. I think I sided it against some stun or some shit. And Mystical Space Typhoon. So that's the side deck. I will quickly go through my matchups. Like, if you feel like this video is too long, you can just cut it now or whatever. But I'm gonna go through the matchups if you want to see it. So yeah, I started off playing against a 6-am player who basically sacked me first turn. I was able to take his Shein. Just checking the battery here. I was able to take his Shein, but he had a monster out for it, so I didn't really use its effect. The other 2 games I just destroyed him. He didn't have a chance. Take his Shin, take his other synchros, take all of his shit. Psychic Jumper is so OP. Destructoton also. I don't really remember too much about that matchup. I just remember me wrecking him. Then my second game was really tight, really close. It was a Frog Illusion Snatcher tour guide thing, like a frog deck, but with a ton of dark monsters. So I lost the first one really because I just got destroyed. I didn't have anything. Then I won the second one really. I won it big time with Goose and Rivalry, and he didn't have any outs for it really. And then the last game, it was so close. I was down to 24. I had a shitty hand, didn't have anything I could summon, but I was able to just hope I was able to drop a Gorse, and then just hope he didn't draw the heavy, have a Rivalry and a Goosen face up for like, I don't know, 10 turns in a row. I guess I was just kind of lucky there, and then I fought my way out of it with just punching with the Gorse, because I obviously couldn't summon anything else. Since none of the psychics are dark or fiend for that matter. Then I played against some Saki ass hero. It was basically he was just a bad player, but I lost to him because he sacked me in the last round. I had like +5 advantage, and he had 1 card, and he was able to pull out a big elemental hero. Then I played 2 Darkwell players. I don't know why, but people don't main the skill drains for some reason. And unless you main the skill drain, you're not gonna win with Darkwell first game, unless you're really lucky. And Beast, just summoning Beast. Like I said before, summon the Psychic Nightmare. They just can't destroy it in any way. And I won 2-0 against 2 Darkwell players in a row. Then I went up against the champ, later to be champ. Wind Up, I couldn't do shit. Wind Up just counters this deck. The rabbits dodge the jumper. He has a big back row. The deck can't push through big back row. He has exceeds. I can't use the exceeds with the jumper. Basically, and he could just loop me and get a big advantage out of factory. Then in the last round, it was basically at this point I was 4-2, so I needed to win just to have a chance of topping. It's top 16, and I won against Black Wings. It was really actually hard, harder than I thought. I think I took it for granted that Black Wings was kind of bad, so I just didn't play too well, but I was able to pull it out in the end, and I was lucky enough to get into the top 16. Then in the top 16 I went against Dragons. This deck has an amazing matchup against Dragons. I could take the Pulsar Dragons and synchro into Scrap Dragon, shoot my own stuff, shoot Scrap Dragon and some of his stuff, and take his Red Eyes Darkness Spirit Dragon, bring back the Scrap Dragon again, use its effect again. He just have a lot of big monsters that I can take, and he can't push through. He really can't push through my floaters. So and then I went against Plants, Rivalry and Goosen. He couldn't do anything. This is a feature match though, this Plant in the match, so I guess you can watch it on Duel Academy Calling at some point if they get to uploading it. Then I went against Dragons, once again 2-0, just an easy matchup. And then in the end, I was kind of hoping to go against Infinity, because I was watching the semi-finals between Infinity and Wind Up, but sadly Wind Up won that one, and I had to go against Wind Up, which just proved to be an impossible matchup for me. So I was kind of expecting to lose at that point, and that fight is also a feature match on Duel Academy Calling, but basically first turn he looped 3 cards out of my hand, summoned a lot of exceeds, and I couldn't do anything. And game 2 I just didn't draw anything really. So yeah, getting in second place, it's the best I ever performed at a Danish tournament. I got this, I guess, like display. I got one of these guys. I don't really know what it is, but it's like a deck box, a giant ass deck box. So yeah, that's it, and thank you for watching.